Hello everybody and welcome back to Screen Stars. I'm here today to bring you my review for the first episode of Season 2's The Terror, and this season it's called The Terror Infamy, and the first episode is called A Sparrow in a Swallow's Nest, and it stars Derek Mayo, Kiki Sukunzane, Christina Rodlow, Shingo Usami, and we even get George Takai, who makes an appearance in this series. Now, the Terror, the AMC show from last year was not only one of my favourite shows from last year. It was one of my favourite shows of the last few years. I thought it was an outstandingly fantastic show that was just wonderful. It was wonderfully made, wonderfully authentic, really terrifying at times, and it was just a brilliant show. And if you didn't get a chance to see that show last year, The Terror, the first season, you really must check it out. So I've been quite looking forward to season 2 of The Terror. No idea whether we're going to go with it, because season 1 was like a one-off story, a true life story. Now season 2, they've actually gone in almost a completely different direction. It's a completely new story, and it focuses on some members of a Japanese community in a camp in California during World War II. And the first episode focuses on essentially members of this community that are trying to integrate into society in the US. However, there is a real fear amongst this community that they may have been followed to America by some malevolent, evil spirit that is connected to their culture. Now, you don't learn an awful lot in this first episode about what this spirit is, but you do see it in action a couple of times throughout this episode, and it does look incredibly creepy. And it seems to be targeting some of the members of the community and also protecting others. So there is a real interest here, certainly from an audience member, to learn as to what is going on here. This first episode was nothing like what I expected. I kind of expected season 2, because I barely knew anything about season 2. I didn't, research it or anything before it came on. I just thought I'll wait for it. And I kind of thought they were maybe going to go with another naval story like the first season, but they clearly wanted to do something completely different. Now, the problem with that is this feels like a completely different show with a supernatural twist. Probably a lot like the American, I think is it the American Horror Story? I haven't watched it. My sister keeps pestering me to watch it. I just haven't had time. I think each season of that it's like a completely different storyline. I think it's going down that route with this Terror show. This is a completely different story. However, it feels so disconnected from the first season. They just don't feel like the same show at all. The production values are all great here. It feels very authentic. It looks like they're in the 40s during the Second World War, and I'm sure we're going to be seeing, because right at the end of the episode you see like the effects of Pearl Harbor. You kind of hear it, what's going over the radio, and you see all the panic and stuff about Pearl Harbor going off, and you see at the end of the episode the after effects of that in regards to the Japanese community. And I'm sure in the episodes going forward it's going to have a big impact on their integration into American society, the Pearl Harbor attack and things like that. So it's probably gonna have its, probably like the first season, it's gonna have its own dramas, like family dynamics and all this integration stuff going on, and probably some racial tensions and all this kind of stuff. And the supernatural thing will be part of the show, but not the main part of the show, which is probably a similar theme to the first season of The Terror, which was the terror essentially came from the crew rather than anything beyond that, even though there was some creature in that show. So, well, I don't think this is as good so far as the first season of The Terror. I will give it a 7 out of 10. It is an intriguing start. Like I say, it's superbly well made, it's got some great performances in it, and it feels very, very authentic. So I'm going to continue with it and see what the rest of the season will bring, and hopefully the quality will pick up, and it may well take on a life of its own and make me forget about the first season of The Terror. So check it out if you haven't yet, and definitely check out the first season of The Terror if you haven't seen this show yet. I strongly recommend it. I did review many of the episodes on the channel last year, so check them out if you want to. Thanks for watching, everybody, and of course I'll see you next time on Screen Stars.